snacks?
What it do, snackers and snackettes? It's your boy Gage. This is WHHW.
Hey!
Look at that. Yeah, and that of course is last week's news. This is what happened was. And we got a couple of things to talk about. Just two, but it's a lot to cover. Just two things. Can we do this?
We can do it.
Let's battle. Hook me up.
Number one.
I didn't know who was going to do it. You know what I'm saying? I had to throw it out there and just see. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let me ask a question. Right? Do we have any Sopranos fans? Do we have any Sopranos fans? Are you a Sopranos fan?
Yeah.
You're a Sopranos fan?
Yeah.
You might have been too young.
Like
you too young? What about you, Sam? You a Sopranos fan?
Never seen it, so I can't call it.
That's cool. Hey, listen, that's cool. That's cool. We're here to talk about the prequel film that is being shot for The Sopranos. Didn't know about that?
No, did not.
Does that sound exciting or enticing to you?
Not without James Gandolfini.
However, this is what we're here for. So they have casted James Gandolfini's son, Michael, to play the younger version of him. Okay, this takes place in the 70s and is a come-up film. Like it's a comeuppance, you know what I mean? Kind of about the turmoil that was going on in Newark before he became who he was, when like the Italians and the blacks was kind of like really at each other's throats. So, you know, according to what everyone is saying is that James's son Michael just really the mannerisms and just of course his look, he looks just like him. It just really fits so well and worked so well when they went to casting, and they went through a lot of people and spent a lot of time really focusing on trying to make sure they got the right person, and he turned out to be it. So he seems to be thrilled to be, you know, jumping in and filling not only his father's iconic shoes, but also the shoes of such an iconic character in a show like The Sopranos. So I think it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be called The Many Saints of Newark. Is the title of the show. I think it might be a hit, man. I think it might turn into something. Sin, I'ma highly recommend. Just watch like the first 2 episodes of like The Sopranos, and I think you're in there. That's what I'm thinking. You can do that. It's not anime. It's okay. Let's move on. I need another hookup. Oh, it's a battle. Who gonna do it?
Number 2.
My man. It's like a back and forth. It's like a back and forth. You know what I mean? Like I feel good either way. It's something charming about when Kay does it though. It's just something charming about it. You know what I mean? Just it feels good. Listen, let's talk about Black Panther for a second. It's been a while. It's been almost a year since Black Panther came out. And what we want to talk about right now is the fact that Black Panther has received 7 Oscar nominations.
Yeah.
So this is a big deal for a few reasons, but let's start with the fact that this is a quote-unquote superhero film. And one of the nominations that it received is for, in fact, Best Picture. This is a big deal. Yeah. Now, I told you this is going to take a little bit. We're going to go through the list of the films that this movie is up against, and I kind of want to get you guys feedback on what you think their chances are really like as far as this is concerned. So, here are the other films that are also up for Best Picture. Black Klansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Favorite, Green Book, Roma, A Star Is Born, and Vice. It's a pretty solid running. Now, Roma is interesting because it's the first film, like this is a Netflix film. And it's you know, being given this you know, this nod to be a Best Picture. What do you guys think? I mean, do you think Black Panther to me stands out as a very different film from all the rest of these films?
Yeah, it does. I think Roma and probably Green Book, maybe something that's going to be there.
Yeah.
And Star Is Born, but that's the 3rd remake of that movie. So.
You're right, and so I think that could hurt it, but it's getting some other nods. So now, it also got a lot of other nods. So let's go through the list of what else Black Panther was nominated for, shall we? Can we do that? All right, so here's what we got. We have Best Original Score, okay? Best Original Song, which is All the Stars, the Kendrick Lamar and SZA title that runs at the end during the end credits. Best Sound Editing, Best Sound Mixing, Best Production Design, and Best Costume Design.
Costume production, and maybe original score.
You think soundtrack? Well, I mean, it's original score and original song, not soundtrack. Score and song. So you think the score, the soundtrack? I know Lady Gaga did write new music.
Right.
for A Star Is Born. I know it's the third retelling of the film for sure. Look, I think just the fact that one, this is a superhero movie, but it's Disney and Marvel. They kind of get to push that a little bit. But it's not like we haven't had tons of great superhero films that have been coming down the pipeline for a solid 10 years now. It's taken this long for it to get that kind of a nod, at least a Best Picture nod. These kind of films are always nominated for like special effects and things of that nature, right? But to see it get the kind of nods that it's getting, I think is a really big deal. Not only because it's a superhero film, but also because the cast is almost entirely a cast of color. And so that's also a big deal, and I think that kind of matters. I mean, they did okay at the Golden Globes. They took some noms for that too. So it remains to be seen how well we do with Black Panther at the Oscars. But either way, the nominations are important, and I don't think there's any film in here where if one of those films took it over Black Panther, I don't think I'd be mad. Right? I mean,
I'm actually happy Black Panther made the category.
Well, that's what I mean.
It depends on which one wins.
Well, I understand, but just what I'm saying is, I don't think there's any film in there that doesn't deserve to be in there for a Best Picture nod, right? And so, technically, if any of them win, now if it gets swept and it doesn't take any categories, we might have a problem.
That's a problem.
But it also depends on what it's up against in other categories, and I wasn't gonna write all that down. You guys can look that up. You can look that up. But I will definitely be keeping a very close eye on it, because I do think that is important. It's an important moment in cinematic history, for geekdom, for nerddom, for superhero films, for the industry beginning to recognize that these films are more than just about superpowers, that they're about characters and character development, and that these characters are people that have lives that matter, and they're not just like super powered powerhouses. They're not buildings down or whatever. So I think it's great for it to start to get the recognition. If it doesn't get it now, I certainly think that it means that the future is bright. But fingers crossed that we take at least one home, right? Let's take one home. Let's take 7 home. But let's take one home. That's how I feel about that. 7 is a great number. 7 is a great number. Listen, on that note, here's what I need you all to do. Tell me how you feel about Black Panther and its Oscar nominations. Let me know how you feel about The Sopranos, and whether or not you're excited about them doing a prequel. Does it even make sense to you? Are you old enough to even know what The Sopranos is, since like 20 years ago the first episode came out? While you're thinking about that and putting that information, I need you to like, share, and subscribe. We greatly appreciate that. And if you're not already following us on Patreon and across social media, make sure you do that. We greatly appreciate those who are supporting us on Patreon already. We definitely have some stuff that we keep behind the scenes for them, and all of you can be a part of it. It's not that hard. Patreon.com/loadsnacks. With that, I'm out. Toodles and Loos.